Thank you, Vinup. And I am a perfect example of somebody who traveled and got COVID, and I'm still alive. And guess what? COVID is making us do many things for the first time, and probably this is the first time that I am hosting a event, while I'm sick. But I'm feeling great. So thank you so much for that presentation, and we look forward to the next session, which is about putting the spotlight on Thailand, which is one of our key destinations in the region. And I'm very pleased to have with us Numfhon Boonyawat, who's the Deputy Governor for Policy and Planning for the Tourism Authority of Thailand. And then joining us as well is Arrut Navaraj, who's the Managing Director for Sampran Riverside, and also the President of the Thai Organic Consumers Association. So, Sawadee Ka, Kun Numfhon and Kun Arrut. How are you? Sawadee Ka. Okay, so let's start with you, Kun Numfhon. I mean, we heard what Vinup was talking about, how countries, must remove travel bans, must remove all tests and all that. And Thailand was really, the first to open with the Phuket Sandbox last July, but still it hasn't fully opened. You still have, rules in place. Are you being too cautious? And do you fear losing, an advantage to places like Cambodia that has completely removed all restrictions?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And thanks for having me again. Okay, I'm really appreciate to share the current situation with you. Okay, to answer your question, we opened the country before others and learn a lot from it. To say that things happen that we never dream of, and it's not that easy to maintain a balance between opening and safety. We feel it's important to think first about safety of our population, and we don't want them to act against tourism. That's why we work closely with Ministry of Public Health and follow the advice. And that's why we haven't pushed for easier conditions. Although requirements are getting less and less now. Today, we still have 3 schemes of entry, which maybe test and go, sandbox, and alternative quarantine. But anyway, a good thing is that the requirement for RT-PCR test before entering or before departure is removed. So now you just still have to do it, okay? But at the arrival date, and if you found a negative, you have to do the ATK self-testing by yourself on day 5. But for quarantine periods, it's also reduced to 5 days for the ATK and also the sandbox. And when we're talking about losing the market size, I would like to put it this way: we don't want to focus on these. If Cambodia opens up and other Southeast Asian countries opens up, I would like to think that it proves that our industry in this region is ready to rebuild together, and we can stand together. So tourism means exchange. So we can learn together on how we can make travel safe again.
Yeah, I mean, so clearly what you just shared, is still quite complicated. I mean, still many steps. But, somebody like Eric, for example, of Kluk, he's been to Thailand twice. So clearly he's prepared to put up with the test. Can you share an update on the visitors who have traveled to Thailand so far on the trends? And I think you have a couple of slides to share with us. If we can show those slides, please.
Okay. You see the slide, but I would like to just make a conclusion that so far as we have a long haul market, okay, it's majority. It's interesting that even if we have many conditions for entry, but the tourists from the West seem to be happy, okay, to accept them and being the first group to enjoy Thailand. So, and if we're talking about within the region, besides the business traveler from China, you still see China, okay, but we also see the South Korean travelers returning as well. We will continue our marketing in long-haul market, okay, such as our virtual and hybrid trade shows in Europe and the US. And we're also going to have our Thailand Travel Mart, okay, at Angsana Raguna Phuket in June, right, from 10. Yeah.
Okay, so you have another slide after this. Let's just look very quickly at this and I'll go to the next question, which is, I mean, your biggest markets were China and Russia, right? And, those markets are probably not going to come back for a while. Now, in 2019, you received nearly 40 million foreign visitors who spent 1.91 trillion baht. is it your goal to return to that 40 million, and by when?
No.
No?
We don't want to go back to 40 million anymore. Okay, I think I
Okay.
just is later. Previous time, right? We don't want to rely on tourist number anymore. Okay, we would like to depend on yields. Okay, we're looking forward for fewer visitor, higher spend, longer stay. So we are arguing what can we offer them. Okay, how do we change the supply? Okay, in the way that they want, and we can work together as a team to offer quality tourism experiences while we thinking of protecting the biodiversity and environment. So this is why we're working with Thailand Organic Consumer Association, or also called TOGA. We would like to work with them in order to establish a best practice. Okay, best practice model that mentioned is mean we would like to connect hotel, restaurants, other businesses and consumer with the organic farmers to get the farmer to be part of this new technology, okay, and demonstrate how the blockchain can change their lives. So we are now in phase 3, okay, of this partnership where we will invest in the technology and to develop the platform together with them.
Right. This is where we bring Khun Arrut into the conversation. Now, Khun Arrut, looking like the farmer that he is today, Khun Arrut was an investment banker more than, 10, 15 years ago, and is now very passionate about organic farming. So maybe Khun Arrut, could you explain like how you're working with TAT to develop this platform, which is based on blockchain? And if I understand it, it's a 3-sided marketplace between organic farmers and food producers, consumers and corporates, and travel related businesses. Did I get it right?
Yes, Hoon. I think if I explain quickly, we developed this digital platform about 3 years ago, linking the whole value chain of with the organic produce. So the farmers would input that information. So the organic farmers, and then hotels and restaurants who buy from the farmers, they can actually show that information to the consumers. So basically linking farmers, businesses, and consumers. So the whole value chain. So I think the transparency of the data enables people to join. So right now we are, we're working with the TAT who's supporting the development of the platform, because it has to be developing all the time. That we are getting more and more hotels to be on board and linking with farmers. So this is the first year that we are actually traveling throughout the country to get the model hotels and restaurants to be on board. And the reason I'm here, because I'm outdoors, I'm actually working in with a restaurant by the river in Ampua, which is just outside Bangkok. So it's really, we want, the idea is actually to increase the demand for organic by getting hotels and restaurants to know where the organic farmers are, and so when they provide the organic menu to consumers, they can be sure that the consumers that they're actually eating something which is really organic. It's not that the hotels and restaurants, it's not just greenwashing, and then that would actually increase the number of entice the farmers to convert from conventional to organic farming. So this is the
So you're in phase 3 of the partnership, which basically is about funding the technology to develop the platform. And you are, basically talking about on the demand side, basically you're trying to basically sign up the Thailand Chamber of Commerce, the Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, and so that you can get their members to use this platform as well, right? Yes. So bringing the entire ecosystem together.
Yeah. So you can join as a corporate. So if you're a company who is if you want to go and have a meeting at a hotel, so you choose a hotel who can provide you with the organic menus, and you know that hotel is using the produce from the organic farmers. Or if you're an individual, you can have this application and you can travel anywhere. If you go to Phuket, you can look up where the restaurants or cafes who are providing organic menus. And the key thing is we introduce an Earth Point system where if you're as a consumer, you go and spend anywhere, you collect Earth Points. Every 25 baht equates to 1 Earth Point. So so basically you can look at hotels and restaurants. So you know that you can actually track your impact. And I think most of the audience would know that organic is good for your health, but that organic is actually helping to reduce the carbon footprint. So everyone is talking about reduction of carbon footprint and about global warming. So basically you're actually helping global warming at the same time. And you'd be surprised that Thailand is an agricultural country. Half the country land is agricultural land. Only 1% of the land is organic. So if we can actually increase the demand for organic, I mean, there's another 99% of the land can be converted to organic. And that's a huge reduction of carbon footprint, yeah.
So great growth opportunity. Now you say that you have about 300 farmers on this platform now. And one key challenge was onboarding the farmers, right? Teaching them how to upload the information. So that's one challenge. The other challenge is generating demand. And so you're getting corporates to use it. And corporates also get to earn the earth points, which they can then use towards their carbon emissions program, right? The third challenge is, I guess, consumer adoption, right? Like you say, consumers can earn earth points, but how do I know when I go to Thailand that I can use this platform? So are tourists using the platform yet, or how do I, as a traveler, then have access? How do I discover this platform?
So basically, right now we are actually introducing it to local people. So the local is local tourism at the moment, and because we want to generate this we call a partnership between farmers and hotels and restaurants, and then the local consumers can use it. So this is the first phase. And basically we are getting corporates, and then the corporate employees are the local consumers. So we want to generate this local demand first. And once if you're a visitor to Thailand, when you come, you can actually this is in the future, in the near future. We expect this maybe to start the second half of the year. So they can actually upload the app, and then can travel around. So you can actually collect earth points when you're in Thailand. So I think visitors now they really want to be part of a cause or a purpose. So this is a great way for them to join, and they can actually track that how much they've supported farmers, how much carbon footprint they've reduced in terms of indicator. So basically, it's like it's getting everyone to be on board of this, and I think it's like travel with like meaningful travel, or what you can call it, But people have actually been doing this, but there hasn't been a tool to actually track this. So I think that's what we're doing.
Right. It seems to fall in line with the trends that was discussed at the first panel with Australia and Singapore too, right? Brent, I think, was saying that when people get to Australia, they really are looking for deeper experiences. And this really creates a very sort of deep local experience that people say, hey, I'm in Thailand, I can now do something good, right, while I'm traveling. So clearly Khun Numfhon sees the potential, the vision of this business. And this is the first for the TAT to be involved in such a project, right? To really invest in the technology. Why is it important for Thailand at this stage to have such a platform and an ecosystem, Khun Numfhon?
I have to say that the pandemic taught us a lot, that we have to do tourism differently. And that's why we think that it's an opportunity to reset our industry and to go beyond the mass, and be looking for the quality and sustainability. That's why we think it's time for us to need to invest in the supply side, go hand in hand. And I think and we have to do our side to generate the demand, So, but that too needs to be balanced, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting. It just triggered a thought in my head that in the past, when we did tourism, we basically built, right? We always thought, okay, we build and they will come. And so we built hotels, we built convention centers. But what we're doing now, what you're doing is building a marketplace, a food supply, that will really connect real farmers with real travelers. And I think that's maybe the new kind of building that we should be doing in travel in the next era. So very exciting project. And I look forward when I come to Thailand and when there are no more, tests, that I can download the app and eat organic food for my health, Okay. So I want to talk about new segments that have emerged from the pandemic as well. Eric was talking about how he visited Maya Bay, during the stay, and he found that how it's completely changed now from what it used to be. And Arrut, you told me that Pangan, Koh Phangan is a completely different place, full of digital nomads and lifestyle and wellness-seeking people. And you've been there a few times, right? So that seems to be the kind of customers that would use the Toka platform, right? Talk to us about what you saw in Koh Phangan, the change there.
Well, I think Koh Phangan is well known for the full moon party. You know, I think 20 odd years ago, I used to go there for the parties, and now I went back again last year, and I was totally smitten that I've been back like twice or three times. And when you go there, people are there with a purpose. You get people who are there for their health. A lot of yoga cults. People are eating vegan, organic food, and I think people are there really, you know, to live a sustainable way of life. So yeah, I think because of COVID, people are more decentralized. So they don't really have to, and they're used to, you know, working from anywhere. So we're getting a lot of, I see a lot of digital nomads in Phangan who have been, I know that I've spoken to a lot of them. They're staying there. They were going to live there for a month or two. Now they end up staying there for a year or so. And then, yeah, so I think this is going to be, you know, I think the kind of tourists that we want to have in Thailand. They and obviously, yeah, we're going to be introducing the Earth Point system in Phangan sooner or later. I'm sure they would be you know, be the
eating
people
it up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. These are to me, the 21st century hippies, right? I mean, Arrut, 20 years ago, you and I would go to Koh Phangan for the full moon parties, and now we go for the organic food and the yoga. It's a new segment.
I think it's a new high. Yeah. So
yeah. New high. I like that. So I'm going to give you a high right now from this because I just got a message on my WhatsApp from Siew, who's our editor of Travel Weekly Asia, who's actually based in Bangkok. And she just messaged me to say that the test and go has just been scrapped from May 1. International travelers will no longer need to take a PCR test on arrival or book an SHA Plus hotel as part of the test go entry from May 1. So, you know, slowly but surely, you know, the restrictions are coming down. So Kun Numfhon, is TAT doing anything special about the digital nomad segment? Because Thailand is paradise for digital nomads, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We have to accept that it's one of the high potential things. And we pay close attention, okay, and to see how it's growing and how to penetrate this market efficiently. So for example, I already mentioned about how great of the South, okay, of the province in the South, especially Phuket. So we see that we have a lot to offer, especially the price, cost of living is affordable. That's why it's just like fit in with them for the long stay. So something that we are going to do special for them is like a platform that we plan that by the last quarter of this year, the official website of TAT will be just like select for this segment to launch something that we things that we meet their expectation. And but we will focus on the US market first. And besides Phuket or the South, we also think that Chiang Mai should be in the list as well. And anyway, we have to talking about a digital nomad visa, okay? We want them so much. And we have to accept that this process is still ongoing. But the good news is the draft registration for the creation of 10-year visa for expat, okay, with high income and digital nomads has been approved by the Thai government, okay, on January 18 of this year. But anyway, I have to admit that it has a long way to go, okay?
Okay, well, okay. We'll have to wait with patience as we have done. So Arrut, coming back to you, you're of the generation that decided to quit corporate life to become a farmer, right? 10 years ago, and for renewed meaning in life. And it seems like we are in another wave right now. We're seeing it, the great resignation, right? People asking tough questions. So how can travel, you know, you think, woo back talent and attract new talent? From your perspective?
I'm not exactly a farmer, Siew, and I'm actually I promote farmers to become organic farmers. I haven't actually. Yeah, I think with travel, and then I think it's and especially with the platform, and people can find each other much easier. And you know, because I think more than 10, 15 years ago, when I was looking for organic farmers, it's very hard to find. And now you get a lot of people who want a new lifestyle, a more sustainable lifestyle, a more balanced lifestyle. It's not just work, and you can actually work from anywhere. So I think it enables people to find partners easier, and the partners who are you know, authentic, you know, no, because you have the information on the platform, platform. So I think I think it's really it's a new way that travel can actually, it's not just tourism coming, to enjoy the beach or anything anymore. It's more about life-changing, meaningful, lifestyle that you're looking for. Yeah.
Absolutely, encouraging the organic farming industry. So I'm going to have to wrap up with rapid fire because we're running out of time. So I'm going to skip to the rapid fire questions, which is the first place you travel to outside Thailand. Kun Numfhon.
South Korea.
Okay. Arrut.
Japan.
Okay. And if you could do remote work anywhere outside Thailand, where would it be? Kun Numfhon.
Portugal.
Portugal. That's my place too. Oh, I hear
Scotland.
them. Scotland. I love the cockerels in the background. It makes me feel like I'm in a farm, in an escape. Thank you so much. Khop kun ka.
Okay.
To Kun Numfhon and Kun Arrut for joining us. And good luck with the opening. Sawadee ka. Sawadee ka.